Hi guys, I've been wanting to read a book called Gnole, this book by Aldridge, Steve Boyett and Maxine for a while, and I thought that it might be cool to share it with you and see if you enjoy it with me. So here we go with the first chapter. Walker between two worlds. There are places on the earth no human foot has ever trod. Not many places, and they grow fewer by the hour, but some remain, scattered in isolated pockets across the globe. Sealed caverns and floating islands, jungle floors overgrown and ripe valleys hidden by ringing mountains. They bask in unsuspected solitude, alone but not lonely. Around the earth whirl downward-looking satellites, silently mapping and photographing every square inch of cloud and land and even ocean floor. Godly peeping toms, the cold, unsleeping eyes, snap millions of photographs day after day. They see the forests, but not the trees. On the southeast face of North America is a kindly age wrinkle known on human maps as the Appalachian Mountains. In the far south of that range, fungal the Gnole slipped silently through the lush undergrowth by the gentle bank of a clear valley lake. Today was the autumn equinox, the only day of the year shared by summer and fall, and fungal was out among the riot of pink and purple rhododendron and azalea to collect special herbs and mushrooms for the dinner he would prepare tonight for his few friends who remained in the valley of smiling water. The day was unnaturally hot, most unreasonably unseasonal, fungal felt. The seasons seemed all akin to these days, these years. Summers hotter and thicker each time round, winters more long and deep. The green world's struggle from the white seemed more difficult each thaw. Every winter his long and dreamless hibernation seemed to last a few days longer, and he awakened with thick pelt, dulled and even more sagging from the slow dissolution of fat that sustained him through a sleep that lasted 3 full moons. This bright afternoon, however, Fungal's sleek, dark pelt felt imprisoned within his homespun outfit from the day's leaden heat. As he moved silently through thick green mountain laurel and choking kudzu along the riverbank, the silent blending with which he moved had become habit long ago, like chanting protective words when he left his home or went to bed. Moving quietly had become a daily part of life in a world that lately was changing faster than Fungal did himself. Here's a picture of Fungal. What's on the world, Fungal often wondered when the seasons are all codswalloped up, swinging further out from the other every year. Well, he reflected as he continued along the bank toward a particular plant he knew grew nearby. Arguing with the weather only gets you wetter. He stopped at a fat-tipped cattail, bowed before him, and knelt to examine it. His hand, thick-fingered with nails dark and hard enough to seem like claws, brushed the cattail's fur. Fungal set his wire-whiskered snout against the cattail to feel its tickle, and thought he might cook its tender stalks, cut in rings and sautéed in a smidgen of walnut oil or stewed with crab apples, something special like to please each of his few friends. Fungal closed his eyes and felt the spirit within the cattail against his snout. His mind filled with the warmth of its life spent growing out here in the sun, a life of pushing root into cool earth to drink out, of breathing out pure air for animals to breathe in, a life of simple being. Spirit of cattail, he intoned, give me your presence and grant me your help, that thee and I may join. The air above the cattail began to shimmer. Dear mage, the kind-toned words formed in Fungal's mind. What may I provide for you? If it please, replied Fungal, a fan or your stalks to brighten up Miss Carrot Soup, for tonight I'm entertaining friends near and dear. The shimmering air formed the suggestion of a gently smiling face. Then add to your feast, dear Gnole, and to my pleasure as well. Spirit of Cattail, I'm thanking you for granting your abundance unto me, and me blessings go to you and yours. Fungal's hands traced an ancient design in the air. Quickly he harvested a dozen cattail stalks and continued his culinary quest. Rubbing his snout with the furry cattail stalk as he moved quickly and quietly through dense thickets of rhododendron, Fungal reflected on the appetites of his remaining guesties-to-be. Car, when he arrived for dinner in his loud and rowdy way. Now Car would want raw earthy things to eat, mushrooms still dirted and earthworms wiggling, moving to and fro in the earth as he did, being after all a gnome. His tastes ran a bit below the crust, but who could fault him that? Fungal stopped before a cluster of dog roses, late blooming and fragrant. And Nima, he thought, what would Nima want? It was hard to say, for Nima Cleaverbread was all rough-hewn woods and liable to leave splinters if handled improperly. She was the last of the Cleaverbreads left in the valley, as Fungal was the last of the Foxwits, and so long as the generations-old feud between the Cleaverbreads and the Foxwits over custodianship of these parts remained an issue, neither of them would leave if the other remained. Though Nima had been dinner guest at Fungal's home before and brought along her own incomparable acorn breads, she had done so mostly because of her fondness for Fungal's father, Wisp, and his bottomless trove of stories from ancient times before the Europeans had begun to settle in America. Stop with a K. Fungal imagined Nima eating delicate and dainty, with bites small and savouring, wanting leafy things and sauces and crystal-lined sweets that dissolved on the tongue to make her wonder if she had even eaten them at all. Fungal smiled as he drank the velvet perfume of the dog roses. Now there was an absurd image. Nima Cleaverbread, dainty. He pulled back from the roses, already fading toward winter, and looked at them sternly. What you laughing at then? He demanded. It's a meal I'm planning, and planning it takes, and I'll thank you to tend your field and leave me to mine. But he smiled and blessed the roses, then stood to move his shadow so that they could drink what light remained in the waning hot day. Keeping to the thick ribbon of gloom beneath the fronding willows, ever reigning over the lake's edge, Fungal pushed deeper into the thick plumage of the wood. Hot and bright though the day might be, there were places in the forest the sun never shined, canopied by the arching vault of intertwined branches of chestnut and oak. Laurel and spruce, the dark wet ground of the deep wood was host to the life that had no home outside of shadow, life that needed slime and wet to root. The air in this dark, rich place was its own perfume, a licentious incense of honeysuckle and foxgrape, sootied with a tincture of leaf mould, black and damp. It was here that Fungal came to look for special things, potent herbs for palate and potion, medicinal barks and roots for healing wounds of body and spirit, dew collected from the petaled bells of flowers at dusk, following a full moon, called in the ancient language of Gnoles, tears of the stars. But most special of all were what spread before him like a city of parasols in a miniature valley between the boles of trees, mushrooms stolid in rings like models of the mountains erected by Fungal's ancestors drowned continents ago. Some had caps like large brown saucers over fleshy gills, others red-spotted, and most artificial looking, with skins luminous as deep-sea jellyfish. Blessums, he murmured with pleasure. Fungal knelt among the mushrooms and removed his pack. To him, this hidden garden of potence emerging from rot was a holy place. The mushrooms glowed faintly in the dimness, underscored by the racket of crickets and creak of frogs. If he had not already known, Fungal could not have guessed if it were day or night. So dense was the roof of twine branches above his tall green conical cap, which, like most gnolls, Fungal wore from a belief that it funneled his consciousness nearer the cosmos. Well guys, that's it for today. We'll read some more in a couple of days or tomorrow. So take care, and I'll see you guys later.